We acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the Adelaide region, and we pay our respects to all elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to Behind the Content podcast, hosted by myself, Lex.
And me, Matt.
Both experts in content creation with a combined 16 years experience.
Join us as we bring you behind the scenes of our lives as business owners, deep diving into the rise of iPhone wedding content, aligning with your purpose, the wedding industry, and everything in between.
You'll hear from industry experts, talented creators, as well as couples sharing their journeys and insights from their own weddings.
Get comfy and let's grow together as we cover all things wedding content and more every week.
Welcome to episode 12.
What is it?
Oh my god. Okay, this is the couple series. Get
Welcome.
excited.
In my
Couple
head,
series.
in my imagination, I'm like, the content creators series for the content creators, and then the couple series, I'm just like, flowers, butterflies, all the fun things.
What?
Couple series.
Just like, yeah, we're just like hard ass on the creators and then just so nice to the couples.
No, we're not.
Nah.
Sorry.
We're not. We're going to be mean. No, I'm kidding. It's going to be a good episode today because, well, this is a couple series, first part of the couple series.
Yeah.
But we're also kind of talking to creators and suppliers at the same time on this particular topic.
Yeah.
Which is what happens after your wedding day, what to do with your content. So I feel like suppliers sometimes have no idea what to do with the content because it's overwhelming how much content you get.
I also get that that
I understand.
it's overwhelming. But do you know how I can tell as well that it's overwhelming?
How can you tell?
They don't post anything.
Yeah, it's like too much. Not even going to go through it and find my stuff or whatever. But yeah, for couples, I think as well, very overwhelming. Unless it's the reels that they've provided, that you've been provided, they probably won't go through it unless they love content and they're like,
Whereas like I don't
already
get
a
it.
social media
I could never
person.
be overwhelmed. I look at all this content, I'm like, yay!
Yeah.
Especially if it's your day or something you did.
You said that about the horse riding though,
I know.
that you got overwhelmed by the amount of photos and videos that she took the horse riding person.
That's true.
So,
Actually, I did say that. Well,
yeah, go back to episode.
Go back to that episode. Do you know what I think it was as well? The angles in there were not very good for me, and
You should have taught her how to do it. I want you to
it's
shoot
really
only
hard
in
when you're on a horse.
4K30. Yeah,
She's also
literally.
on a horse as well, so I'm
Is
like,
she?
that would be
Okay,
so
that's
tricky.
a bit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit harder.
Maybe
for,
that's a job
someone to capture.
Yeah.
So really excited to talk about this topic with you guys.
Yeah.
First we're going to do a card reading. So if you're watching this, you've been watching me shuffle some of the cards. I'm going to pick a card and Maddie's going to read the description.
With my reading voice.
Let's knock these cards. All right, universe, tell me what we need to hear today and what all of our listeners need to hear. Okay, imagine if we get intuitive nudges again.
I know.
Which is
That's
what we got
happened
in the
before.
last episode. Okay, this one's yelling out to me. Oh, stand your ground.
Ooh, I love. I'm getting better at this year.
That's a good one. I have not come across this one yet. I feel like when I'm with you, I come across different cards.
Yep.
And then when I'm alone, I get the same fucking 5 cards.
I do that too.
I'm hearing you.
Mine always tells me to drink water. And I'm like...
Wait, drink water?
Yes, just hydrate. And I'm like, I know.
Okay, so stand your ground. Remember, it's
Alphabetical.
Alphabetical.
Yeah. Standing your ground. Oh, that was so. I'll do my nice voice.
Ground.
Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence-building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. This card is proof that no matter how much you're being tested, pushed, or cajoled into doing something, you genuinely know it's not for your higher good. It's okay to stand your ground and push back. Don't waver, don't give in, don't lose sight of what's waiting for you. Remember the outcome. What you know is right for you may not be what others think is best for you. This card will provide the strength to believe in your own integrity, your own self-worth, to help you remain clear and focused, to defend what you believe and know to be right. With the conviction of that belief comes in an ample supply of energy so that you can stand tall. You don't need to compromise or surrender to give up the control you hold dear. I feel like that is so good for like content creators wanting to do their business and being told like, no, you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this is for couples.
But even couples, like if you're a couple and you're listening and you're getting married.
Oh yes, yeah,
things
100%.
I know.
Yeah, you can relate.
It's hard because, and even actually, this relates back to a question I put out on my stories, on the Wedding Creators stories.
Yeah.
Last 2 days ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
2 days ago, and it was about what is the one thing that you would do differently about your wedding day.
Yeah.
More for my research than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And literally so many people were like, not invite people I didn't want to invite.
Yeah.
Someone said, have a group photo. So I don't know whether that is like, have it or not have it.
Yeah.
First look and photos so you can spend more time with your guests after the ceremony.
Yeah.
Have an indoor ceremony because it rained.
Oh.
Hire a content creator. Have a sax player. Have a shorter photo time slot after your wedding. So I feel like, or like first look again, come up. So I feel like...
Yeah, that was the trend, like when I was getting married, to have the big chunk of time of photos after the... It's still the trend. But recently I've done a couple where they've been doing it, like they do the first look and then they'll do bridal party photos then. And I'm like, that is so cool because then they can all just mingle.
Yeah, it's just different.
It is different.
The lighting of the day.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's like the harsher light over the top.
Yeah, time of your ceremony, like what can you actually make work?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I still feel like last light photos are always really good too.
So 100%. Love
the best.
Last light.
The best.
Are you going to want to do it just you two or with the bridal party?
We don't have a bridal party.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So stand your ground.
Yeah, that works well.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do because it's your wedding and you're going to regret the things that you didn't stand up for yourself for because parent or sibling or cousin or distant relative wanted you to do this thing that isn't really in your wheelhouse, or it's not something that is screaming like, this is me.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not a cake person and your partner's not a cake person, don't get a fucking cake then. Get a gelati cart or cannolis, or, you know, just do espresso martinis on the D floor. Like,
oh my gosh,
they didn't have a cake, but they did espresso martini as their dessert, which was fucking epic. So
delish.
Like, do things that you are going to look back on and go, I'm so fucking glad that I did that and I stood my ground, because really at the end of the day, when someone's trying to tell you what to do or control your wedding or situations, it's because they feel like there's some sort of entitlement. Yeah. And if you've given them the power and given away your power from your wedding day, then you're going to be more disappointed with yourself after the fact.
Yes, 100%.
So save yourself some hurt later, because you're going to be not only annoyed at yourself because you let it happen, you're going to have resentment towards the person who was the perpetrator technically in that situation.
Telling you not to.
Yeah. So you're going to be uncomfortable either way.
Yeah.
You may as well be uncomfortable doing the thing that is going to be the outcome of what you want than fucking bending over and taking it and just like, whatever, I'm going to make life easier right now and say yes, and then later you're going to be disappointed and uncomfortable and annoyed at you and them. So you may as well make them a little bit like, whatever, stand your ground.
And have the best night ever.
Exactly.
They'll enjoy it in the moment when it comes around. I was so glad we had...
going to be mean to couples today.
No, that wasn't to couples. That was to anyone bossing couples around.
It was more to like, if you're getting married, what's going to...
They need motivation too.
You're going to come up with... You've probably already come across this stuff planning your wedding.
Like the big communities. Like if you're having a small wedding, probably less to deal with than that. But if it's one of those big weddings...
Even then. Our love goes out to couples today.
Feel our love.
This is loving kindness. We're giving you some advice on what happens after your wedding day and what to do with your content. So
I was so glad I had... I do pause my puppy and my dog.
Yeah,
he was crazy. Yeah. He was a nutcase, but it was a beautiful nutcase, and he's in photos, so that's all that matters.
Nutcase.
Yes.
What Joshua says about me. So I guess Maddie, let's explain how couples can use their content. So what do you give instructions for your couples?
to probably not watch in the app on Dropbox.
Oh my God, yeah.
Download and then watch.
Because
decreases.
It compresses.
It compresses, yeah. Compresses
so it's
the quality.
all pixelated and looks a bit blurry, doesn't it?
Blech. It looks like we don't know how to do our job very well.
Yeah.
But then you download it and it's a whole different story. But set aside, I try to recommend setting aside time to just let it all download and leave your computer or whatever, doing it overnight or something, because it takes a while. Unless you're impatient and you really want to get in there and pick your favourites and just download them. That's so fun too. Dropbox is pretty simple. You can select all, download all, save to a file, have enough space on your computer.
Or your phone.
Or your phone. Yeah. What do you tell people?
Well, I had a couple ask me, because we use Google Drive. So Maddie uses Dropbox, I use Google Drive, if you haven't heard that before. But essentially I will tell the couples like how to download. So in the email where I send the link, then it's like how to download folder onto your computer. But I've had a bride reach out to me before and say, I want to download on my phone, but I don't really know how to. So I kind of actually walked her through how to do it. So I even sent her like a voice note. Basically, I went and did it in my Google Drive. So it's easier to have the Google Drive app if you have a Google account. If you don't have a Google or a Gmail account, it might be a little bit more like in the browser, which can be a bit more tedious on your phone. This is why I always say like the best way to do it is to download on your computer and then either share it to your phone, send it to your phone. Some, like she, for instance, had a PC and not a Mac, which is totally fair. So I'm not judging.
So fair.
Which is fine. It's normal. But it is easier if it's a Mac to, iPhone to Apple Mac situation. But basically I just went through and told her, like, if you're on the Google Drive app, go to the settings and you can download individually. So if you wanted to download the Reels, for example, it's easy to just download one at a time. Or you can basically go into the folder, say it's your ceremony content folder, and you just kind of like press and hold on one of the photos and it will come up with like the select option. Yeah. So then everything comes up and it's like you can select everything. Yeah. So you can select all, or you can pick the ones that you want to select, and then you can download all of those at one time, which is great. So you don't have to individually go into every single fucking file and download it, and then it takes you 10 million years.
Don't do that.
So if you want to do all of it, like, it's a lot of content. So I would say if you can do, maybe go through some of the content on your phone. Again, it takes a while. Especially if they're like shorter clips, like 3 or 5 second clips, they're going to be like, oh shit. Sometimes it is easier to download everything on your phone if you've got the storage, because remember, we're shooting in 4K. Yeah. So most of the time.
Unless it's nighttime.
Unless it's festoon lights and the fairy lights, and they just go...
I made that mistake a lot back in the day.
Dude, I was still doing it like the other week, because if I was shooting in HD, it looked so trash because it was like dusk. And so the lights are flashing. Yeah. And then...
But you're missing out on the beautiful,
You can't capture all of the amazing quality florals and the first look and everything. And then it just looks really, because it's slow, because you're capturing in HD 25 or 30. Yeah. The frame rate isn't as much, so it looks kind of like...
Yuck.
Yeah. What's the word? Staggered.
Yeah,
so it's really strange. So the couples, when you're looking back at videos that have maybe some flashing in the background, it's because you can really properly see what's going on. But because the frame rate, like 60 frames per second is a lot of fucking frames.
That's fast.
Hey?
That's fast.
It's fast. It's real fast. So it's capturing everything. Yes. It's capturing 60 frames literally per second of the lights being the lights. Yeah. Okay?
Sorry. Technology.
She's like, I
boring.
already know this. Move on.
No, never.
The coffee has worn off.
I know mine was decaf. I should have got caffeinated. My chai's worn off.
I don't know why you don't get coffee. It's just, it is what it is.
Weird.
Good for you.
I just lost like 10 followers, I know.
No, there's definitely, I've got a couple of friends that don't drink any coffee. They're just chai drinkers or decaf or
it's not a health thing.
Like,
I don't drink it because of my health. I just don't drink it because my heart starts beating really fast. My heart. My achy, breaky heart.
My heart. With you. That's you with coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. See, I'm like, I've had 2 shots of coffee and I'm like,
you could do more.
Absolutely. So, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Downloading. That's how you do it on Google Drive. Dropbox is easy. Obviously easier if you have the app as well, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But can't always.
So what do they do after that?
So I read somewhere the other day that I saw a tip, and I don't know who did the tip. I should have screenshotted it. But they said if you go into the web browser, it's faster than in the app. And I was like...
On your phone?
No, on the computer. And I was like, really?
Oh, yeah. I don't like the Dropbox app.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I don't like it. Everyone knows how I feel about Dropbox. It just costs so much, which is fine. It is what it is. But, okay, so once I've downloaded the content, Mads, what do they do after that?
Please share it. Like, share the reels, obviously. If they're not already shared and we haven't collaborated, they're just done.
That's the point. If you're on socials,
share them.
Share the reels.
Yep.
How do they share them?
Well, you can download them and then you go onto Instagram or TikTok and then you add the audio, or if it's already got audio.
Well, we've got audio on ours.
Yeah.
But you can put
I
your
do a
own
silent
audio
version.
on there, I feel.
No, I don't do a silent version. I just say don't use the audio, mute it, whatever, if you're not using it. And change a song if you don't want to use that song. But, yeah, or add a new song. I still like to add on, even if it has got audio, putting it on and then muting it and then putting the audio from Instagram. Because I don't know if Instagram always recognises that it's a trending audio or something. True. Even though you don't have to do that.
Sometimes it does. Or it's like, the Wedding Creators original featuring or like may contain, that's what it says, may contain parts of this song, which is a bit weird. It may as well just pick it up. Yeah. But sometimes it does that. I think I mentioned that before on another podcast episode. But yeah, so uploading it, putting your own music on there if you want.
Tag us.
Yeah.
If you make us, I love when people make me collaborator. If it's not, because sometimes if you make your own, if couples make their own reel.
Yeah, from their content, their raw content.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they're really beautiful, but sometimes they're really tricky. Yeah, sometimes it's really tricky. You don't know what you're doing, or it looks, a little bit different to what I would post. So then I can't always accept collaborator, even though I want to. So, it's just tricky. But always tag.
It looks like it's your
yeah. And also I'm taking credit for something you did.
Offend you.
Yeah, and I don't want to take credit if I didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends because, sometimes or like a supplier has created their own content and they'll collab with me and I watch it first, obviously. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, all right, that's nice. Like, that's a good reflection of the content on the day. Yeah. And then sometimes it's a bit like they've slowed it down heaps or there's something that's a bit, they don't really tell a story, it doesn't really go together, then I'll just comment on it. Like, they've tagged us anyway, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. But it is always nice to get sent the collab.
It always makes me smile every single time, even if I don't share it. So please always share.
And if you don't collab, which is fine, please tag your suppliers.
Yes.
Far out. It's not that hard.
Yeah. If you've got a wedding day timeline, all the suppliers will be tagged at the bottom of that, most of the time. If it's,
I mean, sometimes I ask couples and they're like, here's 3 suppliers. And I'm like, there's more than that. Which is why I was actually one of the reasons why I did that post the other week about what couples should do is create a wedding supplier list for your vendors to all tag each other, to all follow each other, because we're your team on the day. Yeah. And we all want to know who's playing on this team. Yeah. Because
when we show up to a wedding day, it's like, who am I working with today? Even though we know who we're working with. But
hey, didn't know you were here. Yeah. That literally happened to me on the weekend. I was like, oh my God, hey, Eric.
What are you doing here?
I haven't seen you in ages. Yeah. Because you weren't on the supply list. Lol.
Fix that.
Honestly. Yeah. Not that hard. You know who you're talking to. I know you've got so much going on and there's a lot of work that you're doing and you're trying to get your work done before you go on leave or the week before, or some people take a couple of days off before the wedding and not the whole week before, which is it is what it is. Yeah, it's your life. But really, it will take you less than when I'm doing it, and I go.
It takes me a while because you've got to look for it and work it out.
But when you're the one doing it, just keep a list. Go back to my post because it's literally got all of the supplies I could think of from literally sitting there for 5 or 10 minutes, down to the person that's done your nails for your wedding day. Use what applies to you and then put the Instagram handle. again, it's just something that's really simple for us to use.
Like some is just their bit brand, and it's so hard to find an Ashley when there's...
Or like, is there a dot or is there an underscore? Like, is it like name underscore name underscore? Like, you couldn't tag the wrong person because with weddings there's so many names that are similar. Yeah. So, or like literally the same name, and then there's just like the difference between putting like a dash and an underscore or a dot or whatever, like, and you're tagging the wrong supplier in your account, like in your stuff. So very simple to do, but it helps a lot of your suppliers out, and it actually helps you get more reach and engagement, because then your suppliers are tagged, they're going to get the notification. They're not always going to see your posts or be online on the same day that you're posting. So if you want them to engage with your content and share it and whatever that is, it's not very hard to do. Yeah. So tag them either in the caption and credit them there, or tag them as a tag person, for example, or both, which is great. Yeah. I find it's nicer to see them in the caption, because then I can kind of click on each. Yeah. And connect with them, which is great. So nice. So it's something that's very simple and great for us, that I think gets missed a lot by couples, because they just don't know, because they are new to this. Yeah. It's usually their first time, and... Yeah.
And you're doing a service for people at your wedding who are getting married and they want to find out who to work with. They can just go to your post and
they don't want to bother you either about hey, who was that florist that worked with you? Yeah. They were really lovely.
And
I love
do you want to be answering all these emails?
Exactly.
I mean, not emails, messages.
Or DMs and stuff. Like, it's just going to make your life a lot easier later, or it's just more of a...
courtesy.
It's a courtesy.
Courtesy, yeah.
Exactly. So rant over.
Rant over.
On that, sorry if that was a bit harsh, but it's just like something very simple.
That's the second time in this episode.
I know, sorry. Look, we're not trying to be... Like, I'm just trying to drive the point home.
It's just passion.
I'm just passionate. That's fucking right. I'm passionate.
Just passionate. And it helps that you're getting married this year, so it's really fresh.
I know what's going on.
Yeah, she knows.
Like, it's fresh in my mind too. Yeah. And I get every single weekend I see someone, they're like, how's your wedding? Who are your vendors? And I'm like listing them off, because I know them off the top of my head, because so many people ask me, who are your vendors? So you know who your vendors are, babes.
You know.
So, yeah. What else have we got here, Maddie? Okay, so we talked about sharing and posting.
And downloading.
What not to do when you're posting. Don't leave. Okay. I think this happened to someone. I don't know if this happened to you. They're posting
their voices and stuff.
Yeah. So if you're downloading your raw content and you're putting it into a reel, the original audio is probably going to be on there, and we're talking like
bridesmaids in the background.
Yeah, or I'm saying something and I'm like, woohoo, or like, yes, that looks so good, and blah blah blah, and it's like, or you can hear your photographer yelling at some auntie who needs to get into the shot. Like, mute the audio. Yeah. In Instagram, in the back end, when you're putting a reel together, there's a little slider. So if you just slide your finger across the bottom, there's a thing and it says volume. Click on it and it will have your song if you've picked a trending audio. So this is only if you're doing raw content, not the reels, okay? Yeah. Mute the original, it would say global clip audio from memory. Yeah. That's how much I do it. Global clip audio. Take it down to 0. Unless you want something like your
speeches,
just putting your speeches or your ceremony, or there's something that's a cute moment like your first look and you're putting it together. Yeah, and you want to keep the audio in there, go for it. But if you're doing something that's like a recap or a compilation or lots of little
post
clips,
with meaning, people.
Be intentional. Take the volume down to 0 and then keep the trending audio, the sound or whatever, up to 100, which is fine. I don't know if personal accounts, if your account's on private or personal, whatever it is, if they have access to trending audios, or if it's just, I don't know. I've only got creator accounts on my Instagram. I think they have access to it.
Maybe. Yeah. It's the little arrow. Anything with the little arrow.
And if your page is on private and we're not following you. I mean, I try to follow all of my couples, but sometimes we miss them. So apologies. Or I'll follow them like the day before the wedding. So I'm like, shit, I'm not following you.
Yeah. And 3 years down the track, when I realise I'm following 3,000 people, I have to go through and do a little bit of a cull.
I don't need to know what's happening in your life all the time.
No, not unless you want to tell me.
Yeah. So apologies if we're following you like the day before your wedding. It's only because I didn't realise that you were already following us. And some people don't even have Instagram. They're not even following us when they're booking us in, which I think
then after the wedding, they might unfollow. Like, it's normal. You go through seasons in life.
Exactly.
You
right.
won't
You don't
need
need
us
to
all
see
the
all of our
time.
stuff because it's just not part of what you're doing anymore. So if you're on private and we're not following each other, we're not going to get the notification that you're posting and tagging us. So credit, obviously where credit is due, but if you're on private and we're not following each other, we're not going to see that.
Nope.
Another thing I want to say, sorry, I'm talking a lot.
No, that's okay.
Episode, I have a lot to say. From personal experience. I've had a bride, I've had couples in general where we've sent them. So do you hear back? This is a question for you. Do you hear back from everyone that you've sent the folder to? No.
No. Please reply.
Please reply. It's just something that we feel like, I know the wedding day is done. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Like you're exhausted.
Tired.
The day after, you are just taking it all in. You're in your bubble.
Yep.
And all this stuff. I totally get that. And I'm going to be like that as well. I don't want to fucking talk to anyone for a whole week after my wedding.
Yeah. Even the next week, just reply.
Like I've had a couple say, hey, like we saw the content. Just want to let you know I'm going to reply next week.
Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Fucking thumbs up.
Amazing.
Thank you for the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And this goes for photographers and your videographers as well, or just anyone in general. I think it's a really nice thing
Anyone
to do.
that's delivering you a service
Yes.
who, like, after the day, like, obviously, I don't know if the same, like, florists would feel like this and stuff, but I know they want
I think
reviews.
they should do a
Everyone
review,
would want reviews. But people that are sending you a product, after the day, they need to know that, A, you love it. They probably don't want to know if you hate it, but hopefully you don't hate it. But they need feedback.
But they will assume you hate it if
they will.
don't hear from you.
Yeah.
'Cause
Subconscious comes into play here.
I'm like, why haven't they emailed me?
Yep.
Or they haven't looked at the content.
Why are they avoiding me?
Yeah.
It's like a toxic relationship.
I honestly feel like when I send the folder and then I don't hear from them ever again, I'm like, fuck, what did we do wrong?
I know, going back through all of the content.
That's where, and I'm telling you, couples, this is what every supplier feels like.
Yeah.
That they've done something wrong
Please
because you
don't
haven't
do
told
it.
them. So if you have a second while you're on the toilet, like
Yeah,
send an email.
literally.
Literally, it can be take 30 seconds to just
Yep.
say, I loved. You don't
Or
have to give
DM.
a huge thing. Yeah,
You could DM us, whatever.
I've had couples before, and one recently who I haven't heard from, but the day after the wedding, she's posted all 5 of the reels. Basically, didn't tag us.
Oh no.
And like not in the caption, not
Like,
we're following
I
each
don't
other.
care about not being tagged if you've
saw it.
replied.
Like, I get it, it's your content, you've paid for the service, and some people might, some creators, some photographers, whoever might get a bit like, Lex, fucking calm down.
But it
They
just
paid
feels
for the
cold.
service.
I think because we have brands where we're not cold people. Like, once you're on board, you're a client, you're a couple, we want to be with you,
And
you
we
want to be with us.
care.
We care, and when that happens, it's like cold, and I don't want my brand to be cold. So that just makes me feel like I made a mistake
And
almost.
it's
Like,
not
I'm
a matter
like,
of like
what?
entitlement, but it's just a matter of
Connection.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want to know that we did a good job. Okay, I'm a bit selfish. Whatever.
It's
take
quality
that.
assurance, so that's not selfish. You're assuring that
But
the
it's
quality
nice.
is good.
It is. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it is a nice feeling.
I think I know that maybe some suppliers might be thinking
Not have the
like,
same
this
opinion.
isn't all about you.
Yeah.
Get off your high horse. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a nice thing to do.
It is nice.
Tag, and even with photographers, like if I see couples posting their wedding photos from the day, they usually are posting their sneak peeks, right?
Yeah.
I just feel sorry for the photographer if they haven't gotten tagged, because I just feel like it's something so simple to do. Like, you didn't take those photos.
Yeah.
So I think you should credit the person who captured those photos or the video for you, because we all know that wasn't you. You're in the photo, right? I don't really understand why you would hide it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just like a...
But some people have a
forgetful
thing. I don't know. I've heard people...
Oh, really?
Like, from years and years ago, like, I don't tag because, it doesn't look clean on my feed, or like, not on the clean, but on the feed, but more like in the caption or whatever. Like, just tag them as a person then. It doesn't matter. Because also it helps your photographer. If you love the photos and you want that photographer to get more work and you tag them, and a friend of yours who's getting married or is not even engaged yet, but they're in a long-term relationship, has seen who took your photos, instead of having to DM you and ask you who took your photos, the very simple thing to do is to click on the photo, find the tagged photographer,
yeah,
and go to their page and start following them, because it's
That's
so
how we all
hard
use
for
Instagram.
any suppliers to get.
I just looked. I was like, that's how we all use Instagram. I just need to make sure it is.
Maddie has
everyone.
to make sure that she's
In
focused, because we couldn't upload our video from 2 episodes ago because it was not focused on her face and it looked really weird. So she's just checking.
I think it is.
You think it is?
I think it is. This is my language.
Do you want me to get up and look?
No, it's good. I think so. It's fine.
We're both just blind over here.
We are.
Blind leading the blind. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we're saying these things. It's just to educate our couples in general, and creators can also, tell your couples this. It's something very simple to do. It's not coming out of
it's called social media, people, not solo media.
Yeah, unless you're a very private person, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's just something that I feel like we can speak on behalf of suppliers on that particular issue, and they probably haven't had the platform to do that. And I feel like even though this might be a thing that they don't want to bring up with their couples, if the couples knew, then it would just be really nice.
Yeah, because on the day we're all besties. Like it's
Exactly.
and then you finish the day and it's like, bye, I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? What did I do wrong?
Yeah, it's like a little
that would
breakup,
hurt. That's not nice.
Like you've been in this relationship with them for how many months?
I don't have the kind of brand where I'm just like, okay, see you later. Thanks for the money. Had fun. Bye. That's
like I want to know if you're like my couples when they get pregnant and stuff. I'm like, oh my
it's
God,
so
like,
exciting.
I'm part of this journey with you.
Yeah,
like so excited for them, commenting on their things, all this stuff. So.
And there's probably other photographers out there that don't agree with that, and video and content creators that don't agree with that, and do want to keep the brand just business.
Yeah, with you.
Happy
so
medium.
each to their own. But yeah, this is just to give you some information that your suppliers may or may not be thinking.
Yeah.
So with love.
Always.
So Mads, on reviews.
Yeah.
Google reviews are like gold.
Very important.
Really important.
I will be building them
for couples
over
to do.
this off period, during this quiet period.
You'll be what?
I'm building them over this off period because it's like they need to grow. But it's so important, like for for SEO, search, Google, so everything. Like Google Analytics is your best friend.
And credibility.
Obviously.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
I think reviews, whenever I get a review in, I'm like, oh my God, so exciting. Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
In my instructions, so when we send the email to our couples, there's a bit in this email. So there's obviously the link.
The instructions.
Congratulations. There's a link. Yeah. There's the instructions. Share it to your friends, family, suppliers, whatever. And then at the bottom, we've got, if you would like to leave us a review, here's our Google review link. And then most of the time they don't, only because like the link that they're clicking on is their content, which is so good. But then I'll send a follow-up maybe months later.
Yeah. Or
if they feel so inclined to leave a review, or they emailed me with an amazing review. Yeah. I will go that step further and say, hey, like, can you just copy and paste this and put it in Google? Because it's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so
Sometimes
good.
I wish I could just do it, but then I'm like, then I'm posting
my
own review.
You can't do it yourself. Yeah, it needs to be from the person. So
Maddie Ergo says that Madeline Ergo photography is fantastic.
Literally, lol. So if you're a creator listening or a supplier, remember this is your sign. Ask for those reviews, because I know that when I go to look for people on Google and I search them up, I want to read the reviews.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, we've been dealing with some video technical difficulties.
What's new? Maddie's not a videographer.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah. So what we were saying, Google reviews.
Yeah. Put it in
golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just Google search. If actually, I went to review Infinity Films by Brady, and he doesn't have a Google My Business page, so I can't actually leave a review. Because he left a review on my page, and I was like, oh my God, I want to return the favour as a supplier.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I messaged him, I was like, I can't review you. And he's like, that's fine. We get enough referrals from you. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So some of your suppliers might not have a Google My Business account in order for them to receive reviews.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do. It just helps so much. So I think, and it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's
makes
nice.
You feel so good inside.
It's nice.
I literally,
it's one of the really nice things of owning a business. So
one time it was a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in the GP waiting for my appointment.
Yeah.
And got a review from one of my couples, and I literally started crying sitting in the waiting room. I was like,
that is so cute.
But it was so funny. And I messaged her. I think I put on my story that I was like me in tears in the fucking GP's office. And then I put the like picture screenshot of the review. It was so sweet.
I'm going to do back to front recording from now on, like back screen,
You're
front
like,
screen.
Literally. So it's just really, really lovely if you have, if you had a good experience. If you didn't, then I would say email them.
Yep.
Don't put it out there because it's a bit, I don't know.
What goes around comes around.
It just seems unnecessary to put someone on blast unless it was like a terrible...
I think I've only left one bad review ever, and it was because we walked into a restaurant in Italy and they were so rude to us about like having a drink, like a water bottle. And we said, that's so fine, like, can we have some water? They literally were like, no, you will wait. And then we were already sitting at a table. I'm like, well, what? So then I was like, I'm dying of thirst if you're walking around Italy. So not only were we hot and flustered, we weren't allowed to drink any water. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
But if you've
I'll pay for a bottle.
like shit service and it's been like a thing where they're not going to acknowledge or
acknowledge,
or even
fix the problem, try to fix it first, and if they're not willing to fix it, fair enough.
But sometimes also check yourself before you wreck yourself. Have you been a nice person in this whole situation as well? Because I think the whole shtick of like the customer is always right doesn't sit well with me, because that leaves zero accountability for someone who might not even mean, but just like hasn't communicated well enough. Like just speaking from experience, just from my lexicon experience as well of dealing with clients, back in the day, where I wasn't communicating enough, they weren't communicating enough what they wanted, and then it's just blown up into this thing that was avoidable. Lessons, L's into lessons, but if you're a couple and you are expecting the world for nothing in return, just be mindful of your own hang-ups or your own projections or your own stuff that you're putting out there to people, because people are dealing with stuff. So, people are people. If you have your own hang-ups about, how you look or how your wedding, you thought it was going to look. I've said this before so many times, you're becoming...
We're there to capture the real story.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, went on a bit of a random one.
No, that's not random. That's it's very accurate. Very true.
Thank you. Yeah. But I think you need to add the caveat in there of, yes, the supplier might have done a bad job or not to the expectation, not the quality that you were promised. But also what role did you play in that situation as well? Because not everyone is innocent in those things. So I just want people to understand this whole self-awareness game is about what could I have done better also. And
especially with things like weddings, it's very creativity based. Your creativity, their creativity. You hired this person from what you saw, and generally what you receive is what you saw. It's just relevant to your day.
And if you want specific things, get specific. Yeah. Because the clearer the brief you can provide any of your suppliers, including us, the happier you will be at the end of the day.
And
it's just simple.
A massive tip, if you do have an issue or you want to talk about something, go into it with an open heart. Be a kind person. And if you talk about it openly, most business owners will be willing to work through it with you. But if you go in there guns blazing, accusing, defensive, it's not going to fix anything. It's probably going to make it worse. So just be nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, kindness is so simple, yet it's just not that common. I don't know. It is and it isn't. It just depends. And people are going through shit, and weddings are stressful AF. Yeah. For people, for me, not so much. Which has been great. But I think that's a choice also. Yeah. If you're stressed out by your wedding. Choices. Again, it depends on how much your personal growth is coming into this factor.
Are you in a pot or are you in a mug?
No mug. If you don't get that, you have to listen to the
yeah,
last
previous episode things.
Yeah, so people are dealing with people, and that's, you just have to think about what maybe your supplier, if they haven't replied, or whatever, like, what are they going, what are
the
they
same
going through?
goes for you may be thinking right now, oh, that's all well and good, but my supplier takes forever to reply to me, and it's so true, but they generally will always reply. Like, it goes
the other way.
Yeah,
because I've spoken with I had a one-on-one coaching session yesterday with a wedding creator in Sydney, and Sydney or Melbourne, one of those, and she was saying, oh, like, all these people are ghosting me, or they take so long to get back to me, blah blah blah. I'm like, it's not about you. Like, really, it's just not about you, because just don't take it personally. Because I'm someone that, like, if I am quote surfing for a particular supplier, I'm going to, like, on a Friday night or a Sunday night, whatever, when I've got spare time, I will, like, go and fill out all the forms and get all the things and blah, 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 and get excited. And then as soon as all the flood of emails come back to me, I'm like, I don't want to look at this
now
ever
I have
again.
to pay.
I don't want to fucking touch this right now. I'm going to do it when I'm in the headspace to do it, which is probably the week or month later.
Yes.
So those are the things that, as a couple, I get that you're, like, inundated with all these different quotes, and suppliers.
Creators don't get offended when people don't reply, because they're generally, like said,
they're weighing it up.
Yeah.
They're taking their time. They're looking at your reviews. They're looking at your content versus maybe 5 other different creators in your area to see who is the right fit for them. You can't bombard them, but you also can't just, like, let them forget about you either. It's this very fine balance between kindly following up to see if they're still interested and keep them in the leads, like all the leads we've been talking about, not deleting leads, and bombarding them and getting really like, why aren't you replying to me, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. That doesn't leave a good taste in the mouth. So,
does not.
Yeah. I think communication-wise, some people are just really, really good at it and some are not. I'm good at it most of the time, and then sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't want to look at these emails.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, I really want a 0 inbox email at the end of every week.
Yeah, that's always a great thing to have.
Yeah. But that's just, I have turned myself into that. Talk to me 10 years ago. I think there's a screenshot on my phone of when I had 13,000 unread emails.
That's the same as my old account right now. I could probably tell you.
13,000. Like, I literally have a screenshot from 2015 of that. I wasn't running my own businesses at the time.
Oh, no, I've deleted that inbox, but it was like literally 32,000.
Ew, 32?
Yeah, but I signed up to so many, like, Hello Princess Polly, all those. Yeah,
so just not.
I'm on 32 right now. That's pretty good for me. Wait.
32, not 32,000.
30. Oh, no, I'm on 132.
Damn.
Fuck. That was like 60 before.
Across one inbox? Or is that multiple inboxes?
True, actually. Let me check.
Because my multiple inboxes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inboxes, and I've got 75 emails. So that's pretty good.
Oh, no, my primary is... We're 33. That's good.
That's pretty good. Cool. What else can we say to... Well, I think we've talked to couples most of this time. What can we say to suppliers about this?
Don't get, don't let your mental health suffer too much because of it. It sucks and we all go through it. Mm-hmm. But don't let it stunt your business growth. Because,
what's that?
Like not getting feedback.
Yeah.
Because the opportunities that come in are heavily relied on positive feedback, but they're not fully reliant on it. Your connections with the people around you and with couples and people at the wedding who aren't even the people getting married, that's what really matters as well. So don't put your eggs in one basket. And
you might be getting word of mouth regardless. Like
100%.
Couples that might not review might be singing your praises in private. So there's all these different ways that you can
and you don't want to burn that bridge either. Like you don't want to be bombarding them and then finding out down the track, oh, but they actually got you a referral for another couple, and it's like, oh crap, like that would be a shit position to be in.
Some people are just like not interested in leaving a review, which is fine. Couples, it's fine really. Like it's nice, but if you're just like, I'm really not that kind of person to leave a review, but I'd rather tell 50 people Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Go for it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, everything we say, take with a pinch of salt. Basically, just apply it to your life how you want to apply it. Exactly. We don't want to offend anyone, obviously, but we want to give as much value as possible.
Yeah, but
as much as we can.
I don't think we offend people,
like, it's
but
our
I think
own information.
we make people feel uncomfortable.
Entitled to their opinion.
Uncomfortable is good because it means we're growing.
Yeah. So for suppliers, I guess getting our content. We send our suppliers obviously everything.
Yeah.
Some people don't send everything to suppliers because then, like, you know, they can create their own stuff and it's not that great. Like,
as in, like, the whole thing you see in the couple you send to suppliers?
Yeah. All the raw content. Yeah. I just say don't use the reels because we've made them specific for the client.
Yeah.
I've had one person basically cut out, like, they got the reel and, like, halved it and then used the second half. I'm like, I know that was my fucking edit. Okay. I can see it. And I've said specifically, don't use the reel.
Did you like message them?
I didn't, but I knew she would be like, just is what it is. So, yeah. And this was someone I had really never met before either.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of like, bit of a, like, bit bold move there. Yeah. Going against my wishes.
A request? Like, it's not even like it was just like
and
a
then
common...
not saying I made the content. Come on now. She tagged us as, like, the content creator, but, like, it looks like you edited the video even though you didn't.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, that's just me. Hang up there, obviously. Something sticky there.
Sticky.
But, yeah. When suppliers do get around to the content, what are you doing?
I don't know. My hair was all stuck everywhere.
It's getting stuck on the...
Yeah, it's like frizzy.
Oh, right. Back on there. Okay. The walls are movable if you're watching this, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're a supplier that is overwhelmed by the amount of raw content, I think just if you can delegate that to someone in your team to just look through.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Delegate.
Yeah, delegate.
Yes.
That's what we were talking about last episode. Delegate someone like your admin or someone that you're working with that doesn't get paid as much as you do per hour, because you should know how much you get paid per hour. And your time is precious and valuable.
Is precious.
And actually a great example of this, someone who doesn't have an admin person, Matthew Verco. He messaged me a couple of weeks ago now and he's posted a story. He goes, "Hey Lex, I finally got to put together the content your team grabbed from this wedding. I reckon it's helped me book 2 out of the 3 couples in what's been a quiet patch. So thank you so much. Great angles, reactions, moments and noise.
Aww.
Just wanted to say thanks for sharing. My love to you."
So
this is what happens, suppliers, when you are actually using the content to your advantage.
Yeah.
Because we capture the content of the wedding and tell the couple we're going to send it unless you are really adamant about not sharing your wedding day.
Yep.
Which has happened before.
Oh, yeah. It's happened.
Yeah, it's up to you.
But we still got
you're
really...
the one paying for the content at the end of the day. But it's just lovely because your suppliers can then market and share your wedding even more. So it just gets love and love and love, right?
Yeah. And who wouldn't want to relive their day over and over and over again?
Exactly. It's just the best time.
Yeah.
So your suppliers using the content, use it and abuse it.
Literally,
just say, like,
you cannot post too much.
It. Yeah, like, who cares if you've posted 3 times about this one wedding?
Who cares?
No, most of
during the off-season, I'm literally going to go back through all my content from weddings and post shit I haven't posted.
And also your couples, your potential couples are not seeing every single post that you're posting. They're seeing one of the 3.
Yeah.
So in their eyes, they're like, oh, you've only posted about this couple once. Maybe they haven't seen any of it.
Yeah.
So if there's a wedding that you really love that you want to get, that's like, I want this wedding again.
Yeah.
Fucking go for it. Balls to the wall.
Post.
Do everything. Post frequently as much as you can. Obviously, it's sustainable. But, if you have someone in your team that can help you kind of sift through all of the content that you've done, then it's just going to make your life so much easier because then they can organize it, do the kind of groundwork. It's like data,
It's the sticky work. It's fun to relive. Do you know what my problem is? I go back and I'll try and I'll go back and get content to post, And then I just end up in a black hole of looking through this whole wedding being like, oh my God, that was so fun.
Yeah, me too.
That's a really cute video. Oh, this is really cute. Oh my God, what happened when they did this? And then I'm just stuck in this whole hour and it's like 3 hours have passed. You need someone that's like not connected to the wedding or...
Yeah, can see it on like a third party perspective of like, this is a good video, this isn't. This is a good reflection of my service or whatever, or this part of the wedding, and this isn't. So if they're able to kind of sift through quickly-ish what they can do through all the content, or maybe remember where your particular service was used. Was it in the ceremony as a celebrant? Was it the DJ at the reception? Was it the florist doing like the ceremony arch and the table, your reception table stuff? Like there's where your service was used. So go and find it.
Go find it.
Just use it. Remember to, like I said earlier, take the volume off of your the raw content.
I also note that in the email that goes out to couples, like just be wary. It is raw content, a lot of it. So you're going to be hearing some will
Maddie's
be a
not coming in as muting stuff like she used to.
Oh my God, I used to. If you didn't listen to that,
God,
I used to mute every single video. Or like,
just
actually,
crazy.
I didn't mute every single one. I just muted the ones where people were being really loud and obnoxious. So you were listening to
literally the whole wedding day?
Yeah, the whole day.
Actually, insanity.
Yeah. So, guys, we all started somewhere.
It's fair enough. I was just like, give a fuck.
I know. It's
your wedding day. It's the truth.
Yeah.
What people are saying is what they're saying.
It is
and
so
if they're
true.
around someone that's recording something, whatever.
Yeah.
It is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Get what you get and you don't get upset.
True.
Yeah.
We've said that before.
We have.
Cool. So I think that wraps up our episode for today.
It does.
Which is so cool. Still a long one, Mads, but
it is,
we were like, it's going to be short.
We just love chatting, once we start.
We go off on the little tangent, don't we? But yeah, so if you're a couple and you want to hear more about this, or you have some opinions or questions for us, we would love to hear from you. You can send us an email at behindthecontentpod@gmail.com.
And there's more couple series coming.
There's more in the couple series coming, that's right. So very exciting. Yay. But yeah, if you have questions, we can add them into these episodes, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You can also DM us or send us a voice note. It's all anonymous, by the way. On Instagram, our handle is behindthecontent.pod. And TikTok's the same as well. So yeah, and suppliers and creators, obviously, if you're listening, please send us your feedback or questions. We're still going to use those, of course, as well.
Absolutely.
So good times. This was our first couple series. Yay.
Yay.
All right, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
See you later. Ciao.